Hi, I'm Xenia. I'm a physiotherapist based out of Calgary, Alberta, and this is the 3D plank series. You're going to start with your hands on the wall. The plane you're going to move in is the sagittal plane. Try and drive these movements out of your hips. So bringing your pelvis towards the wall and sticking your butt out. The next motion is the frontal plane. You're going to shift side to side. Try to drop your pelvis towards the wall so that you're loading your core as you go. When you shift this way, you should get the glute and the groin. And when you shift this way, you should get the glute and the groin. Allow your shoulder blades to adapt and adjust to these movements as opposed to holding them rigid. Next is the transverse plane of motion. So think like you have a pole running through the center of you and you're going to try and spin or rotate around it. Again, drive this movement out of the hips and the core, and also let your shoulder blades adjust to this. Twist one way and twist the other. This sometimes is more obvious if we show what it looks like off of one hand. Next, you can take these movements down to the mat, and you can work off your forearms and your knees. So again, you would have the sagittal plane of motion, the frontal plane, which is side to side, and the transverse plane. Next, you can pop up onto your feet and stay on your hands. So again, you've got the sagittal plane. Next will be the frontal plane. And finally, the transverse plane. After that, you can pop up onto your hands and your feet. Once again, try and drive these movements through the hips and pelvis. Then you would have the frontal plane, shifting side to side. Drop your pelvis low enough that you're loading through your core, as opposed to having your butt up in the air and shifting. So once again, drop the pelvis. And finally, there's the transverse plane.